Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me. This is Davin with davindeedoodles, and today I thought I would turn on the camera during an experiment because I'm having more fun with it than I honestly thought I would. So today I broke out the new book I have, Circle of Life, by an illustrator whose name I cannot pronounce, but will definitely link down below if you're interested. I have a flip through of this on my channel, but I wanted to take a look at it and see how it would handle with certain mediums. As you guys saw from one of my other videos, I've really started kind of taking a liking to painting, and I actually painted in Camila D'Erico's book, Pop Manga Mermaids. So her book handled it really well for what it was. I did straight acrylic in that book. I did it for the background only, and it didn't do too terribly bad. But what I did notice is that when I had done it in like the pages in her book, the background, like the little bubbles in the background image, had started to get covered up and were hard to find. So with a book like this particular one in Circle of Life, I got kind of scared that if I did gouache, which can be very thick and acrylic and opaque, I was afraid that I would lose a lot of the detail in the image if I went too heavy with it. So I'm kind of doing an experiment just on the title page, because that is a page I do not mind losing, and I figured we would see how it works with like the different styles of, you know, gouache and all that stuff. Some layers obviously I went a little heavier, and others I went lighter. I'm going to zoom you in here so you can see exactly what I'm doing, and I hope I don't forget to move you guys around. But I started having so much fun doing this, I thought I would just turn on the camera and kind of show you my process, even though it's not really a process, it's literally just what I'm doing. And I'm not a master with gouache either, by the way. Don't take anything I say to heart, because I'm pretty much just faking it till I make it. So I have a few flowers in here that are thicker, and you can still see the ink outlines, and that's for her less busy stuff. So the bigger things shouldn't really be a problem, I hope, because, you know, some of this stuff is going to require layers, some of it's just going to be an easy little wash and then it'll be done. And I'm really concerned with darker colors. I think that's where my biggest question is like how it'll look when it's a dark blue or something, because there's a lot of pages where I'm really planning on putting that blue in, and that kind of scares me. Yeah, I want these to be green too. And so what I'm doing is essentially just kind of coming in here and putting down like a base light green so I can go back and add darker greens. And I'm trying to be as easy as possible with it, because I don't want to warp the pages, and that's kind of what I'm testing. So on the left page here is the same image, and I'm not going to paint that page, not today at least. Once I'm done over here, I'm going to go on the other side and I'm going to use the clear gesso I bought today and see if that will actually handle a little bit better after I let it dry for like 24 hours or whatever it said. So that's kind of the experiment, is to see, will the gesso actually make a difference? I have heard some people use it for colored pencils, since apparently this stuff will dry and give your paper more of a tooth, which is a good thing, especially with pencils. So we'll find out. But I've been rambling. I don't even know what I've been saying. So it's been a week, you guys. I hope you've been okay. I hope you enjoyed my little impromptu video. And if you didn't get to see it or you didn't like it, that's okay too. But after the week I've had, I really just need to sit and do something I enjoy, and I really enjoy painting and I really enjoy flowers. So it's kind of a no-brainer, you know? It's been a work week, and I'm trying not to get on my soapbox about people being kind to, you know, customer service workers here. So I won't. I'll stay off it. But just remember, be kind. It's a rough time for everybody. Alright, I'm gonna mix some more paint. I'm using the Arteza gouache colors, if I can show you. Yeah. Maybe this way? I don't know. So it's Arteza gouache colors. I bought these for my mom about a year ago and she never used them. So she gave them to me. And they're actually really nice paints for what they are. Like they, especially for coloring books, they do what they're supposed to do. They do it well. You can add water to it. You can make it more of a watercolor consistency, which is kind of what I'm going for right now. And then you could always, like I said, you can see here I went thicker with it and it takes on a more opaque and acrylic look. So I have fun with gouache. And I was thinking when I dug these out, I really wanted to do the image with the fox because he's so cute, you guys. But I knew that if I did that, I would destroy the image on the other side because you can already kind of see. I don't want to move it too much. Like there's buckling and a little bit of warping on this page from where I've been working. So I didn't want to destroy the image on the other side because that's the hedgehog page and I like that one a lot too. So it's just like, I'm gonna have to figure out if this gesso works before I do anything like that. Otherwise maybe I can do like, I don't know, maybe I can just make copies and transfer it onto a canvas or something and do acrylics, which I know you're not supposed to do, but you know what, I bought the book. And I could always buy a second book, I guess, you know. It's not like I would sell it to somebody claiming that I drew it, because I would never do that, but, the kids next door. Goodness. My poor dishcloth, you guys. I used a dishcloth from, like, my kitchen, and it's, like, all paint. It's got all kinds of paint all over it. In my flip through, I mentioned that I don't like snakes, and I don't. Me and snakes don't get along. But I do like the, like, I guess they're albino pythons that have, like, the white and yellow patterns. And I think that's what I'm going to do with this guy here, is make him white and yellow, because clearly I've got a yellow theme going on here. I've got yellow flowers in my room. I just really like yellow. It makes me happy. It's a happy color. What's your favorite color? And if you have a favorite color, do you like to use it like as a recurring theme in your coloring books? I noticed in my coloring books, I tend to come back a lot to like pinks, purples, and grays and blues. Like anything I color is going to have those colors somewhere in it, usually. So I've kind of tried to push myself out of my comfort zone. And this book is so busy, I have to constantly keep looking to see if I missed something. Okay, we'll go back here. So, yeah, what is your favorite color? And do you find that you kind of gravitate towards it when you are... Oh my god, guys, I cannot talk! Do you gravitate towards it when you are doing coloring? Or diamond painting, like, is something of a certain color more likely to grab your attention kind of thing, you know? I've always been really curious about that. And it's so funny, because I used to hate girly colors. Like, I didn't like pink, I didn't like purple, I didn't like any of that. And now they're like my go-to colors. I have jewelry that's like a really beautiful pink color. And like, I love working with the purples. Purples are one of my favorite colors to work with. And I don't know why, but it became that way. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to try and come back in after I give this time to dry. I'm going to try and come back in and darken certain spots, like go over it with a darker layer of green, just to kind of make it pop a little bit more, because right now it's very spring green. And that's fine, that's kind of what I was hoping for, but I don't want the entire thing to look like that. Let me see if I can move this back a little bit. I'm hitting my water bowl. Alright, here we go. So I went to Michael's today and decided to, you know, I needed stuff because that's what I do when I go to Michael's. I shouldn't be allowed in that store. And my husband went with me, and that's even worse because if I pick something up, even just to look at it, he wants to get it for me. I don't know why, he just does. And I went to the clearance section, which was actually a good thing because I went to the clearance section again. They had a whole bunch of those oil brushes still there. I left those though. They were actually the sizes I already had. But what, you guys can't even see what I'm doing. There. But what I did buy was a special brush. It is a Winsor & Newton, and it's about, I don't know, an inch? Yeah, it's an inch. It's a flat brush, watercolor brush. Typically $33, and I got it for $10. So I was so happy to get that. Because I need more flat brushes. I have about 3, that's a lie. I've got about 5 round brushes and I have absolutely no flat brushes. So I need to start expanding that and not getting a whole bunch of, you know, oil brushes and things I'm not necessarily going to use right away. So I went ahead and grabbed that because that was a really good deal and I was excited for it. Oh yeah, this one has a little too much water on it. See if I can knock it out, but that might work. My husband actually said that this is a book he doesn't think I should try to watercolor or paint because it's so finely detailed, and he's right. Like, there's some pages that I look at and I honestly get a headache. I don't know how that artist sat there and did all those little bitty lines. It just makes me kind of crazy. So I don't know that I'll be doing those, but I mean, they're gorgeous. If you haven't seen a flip through of it, I highly recommend you find one and like just take a look at this detail, the level of detail she put into it. It's nuts. Can you guys see? Okay, you still can. And I actually do have a little bit of a headache going on. I don't know if it's from the picture or if it's just like, I've been getting headaches daily though, to be fair. I think it's because I've been sitting in front of a computer all day and all that stuff. So yeah, we went to Michael's. We got the clearance brush, which I was super excited about. We got, I got a little thing over here. It's Artist Loft, so it's the Michael's brand, which, you know, some people might say it's good or bad. I got it for only like $3, and it's slow dry blending gel medium for acrylic paints. So I'm assuming it's something that'll slow your paint down so it doesn't dry like instantly, which, you know, might be nice to have in the future. Actually, I have a ton of canvases I just need to freaking use. And I finally got a little gesso brush, or a brush to apply the gesso, I guess. My husband has a ton of canvases that he spray painted and he no longer wants to keep. Like, he either didn't like the art or he just wants to redo it or something. So we have a lot of canvases. It's just a matter of actually gessoing them and repurposing them, which I can use for acrylic paints. Yeah. This is probably the smallest brush I have for like all these little fine details. Goodness. That's a nice thick coat. I'm not sure the best method to be doing this either, so I'm just really winging it. I haven't done gouache in so long. Do any of you guys like to paint? Do you prefer like watercolors or acrylics or anything like that? Or am I like the only one out here that really gets a kick out of just you know, doing random little things like this. I feel like there's a lot of people that probably do. And I also have found that I'm really enjoying my colored pencils. Those are like a huge inspirational thing right now. But it's just harder to, I don't know, I feel like this is like kind of my equivalent to alcohol markers right now. This is faster for me to do. That way I don't bore you guys as much. Okay, so everything up here should be pretty dry because that was a really thin layer. So I'm gonna start adding some depth to it. I also know a lot of people enjoy doing like watercolor layers, like washes, and then going over it in pencil. That seems like it would be a lot of fun. But again, you would have to have the right paper to really kind of take that watercolor, because usually if you're doing a wash, it's gonna really pop on your I had to take a second. I got really confused like right here. I couldn't tell what was going on. Alright, wet my brush a little more. I have to keep wetting my brush because I'm like trying to reactivate the paint a little bit. And then I'm also like wiping it off so it's not too heavy and too like all drops on the paper and goes everywhere all at once. So I'm kind of like getting more on my dish towel over here than actually on the book, it feels like, but that's okay. I wonder if I can get a nice little blend if I went over there. But see, again, there comes the question of how much can this actually take? Maybe we should push it. It's an experiment, right? I bought at Michael's. I don't know why I buy random things sometimes. I have a thing for flowers. I don't grow flowers very well, but like produce I can do. So I have like artificial flowers in my room because I only get southern facing light, and that's not even very strong light because of the way the apartment is set up. Like I'm not able to get a whole lot of natural light in my apartment, which is really unfortunate. And it's kind of why my videos are so dark, because I can't, you know, unfortunately I can't change that. I'm kind of stuck here. So I'm really hoping I'm not getting my hand in all this either. My solution to not having real natural light is basically to have grow lights for my succulents, which are doing great, by the way. And if you guys have succulents, you need to let me know because I am a huge fan of them. Let me know what type and like all that kind of good stuff. But I don't have any real light for flowers, so my solution was to get artificial flowers and kind of like just decorate my room that way. Can you guys see? I hope you can. You should mostly be listening and working on your own craft though, to be fair. Like if you're not doing that, you're going probably crazy watching me do this. So to get back to the point, I went to Michael's. I got these cute little flowers. They're kind of like this. That's why I painted them this way. They're yellow, they're happy flowers. And then I have white flowers with yellow insides. And then I bought like pink ones. And I don't know why. I guess I just need something to kind of brighten up the room a little bit. So I like spent a little bit of money today, but you know, it was worth it and it looks really nice. And I don't know why I suddenly started getting into like the fake flowers. I'm not a huge, I've never really been into that. I used to work at Michael's like a long time ago, and like I would help create the flower arrangements sometimes when it was a really busy season and the lady needed help, but I never, maybe that's why I was never really into it, I don't know. I just think it would be kind of cute to make my own little arrangements and have them like as decorations, either for the channel or just for me. And here I'm just kind of adding a little details. I think it looks pretty cute. That way it's not like just all bright wash green, like you can see little differences. Kind of gives it dimension, you know, makes it look a little more real. Not that this is gonna look real or anything, but I was given a, this is not a plug or anything, no one's paying me to say this. My husband bought me a subscription to Skillshare for my birthday. And I'm pretty excited because I feel like people on Skillshare might answer some of my questions and hesitations about, you know, how do you paint with gouache or how do you do this in watercolor? Like, I feel like that might help a bit. Because he knows I'm really getting into the whole painting thing and I've never done it before. So I would really like to keep doing it because it's a lot of fun. It's just so relaxing and it's faster generally. At least I found this to be faster. So it's kind of nice, you know. I have so many projects going on, you guys. It's sad. Like, I sat there today and I'm like, I need to do a video. I want to do a video and talk with my people. And then I sat there and I'm like, but the drawing that I've been working on still isn't done. It's nowhere near done. I can't do that. So I need to, oh, that's really thick. I need to work on that more. Okay, well, I wanted the colors, so I decided to do this, and that is really thick. It's like I have so many ideas, so many works in progress. And I don't know, maybe it's one of those things I just need to eventually like put it on the channel and be like, okay guys, today we're gonna sit down and we're gonna finish this. Because I'm sure you guys have those too. Like, you have those days where you just have stuff that you need to get done. And like, some of this stuff I need to get done sooner rather than later. Because like, I have one that's kind of like spring welcoming summer sort of idea. Like, I need to get that done before May, ideally. And I'm just like, I'm never gonna get this done. I cannot get the proportions right. I cannot get the anatomy right. This is driving me nuts. But you guys, once I do get it right, it's gonna be stupidly cute. And you're gonna get a video on it, probably. So definitely keep an eye out. And then there's like an idea I have for Mother's Day that I need to get done. And it's like, then I have Mermay, and I still haven't come up with my idea for that. Like, the entire idea, at least. Like, I have an idea of a theme I want to go with, but that's like... And then, out of nowhere, I decided that I wanted to start coming up with, like... There's these old characters I have from July of last year, and it's like, they're starting to, like, want to make an appearance. And when I say they want to make an appearance, my characters are basically like little people inside my head sometimes, and they become very demanding for attention. They just kind of occupy all my available headspace. And so that's what I mean. Like, I feel like if I don't draw them, I'm gonna go nuts. So they're not helping matters. And I think y'all need to put them into submission. Because goodness, I do not have time to be doing all this. Though I will say, Mermay's gonna be the cutest thing in the world. So I hope you guys don't mind a bunch of content on that. Because that's gonna be coming. And I think the way I'm gonna do that is just kind of like make almost like a little color and chat with like an illustration I do from that week, and just kind of color it and chat with you guys like I would any other color and chat. That's about the only way I could think that would actually work. mean, unless you're interested in like art progress videos and process videos, but there's probably going to be a few of those too, I'm not going to lie. All right, do I want to do this, like these leaves in a bright color, or should I do them in a various shade of green or like a teal? I was originally leaning towards a teal, but I feel like I need to add more warm colors to make it pop. Do I even have a teal in this set? I have a lilac and a cerulean blue. Cerulean blue might look kind of teal. Let me test this color out. Oh, that's kind of blue. That's really blue though. What if I mix it with green? I don't know. Maybe I should just do orange and reds. I think I'm gonna make the leaves red. And I'm gonna make the trumpets orange. That's my idea. That's what I'm gonna do. You guys saw it here. Now how do I make orange? Because I don't have an orange. Crap. Okay, I'm gonna pause this real quick. Then we're gonna come back. My colors are gonna be mixed. I'm gonna be ready and we're gonna talk some more. Okay everybody, now that I am back, my paint water looks absolutely atrocious, but I have an orange and I have something that kind of resembles teal. We'll see if I even end up using that because I'm not sure about that color. But hopefully this will work as an orange. I don't know, I just feel like I'm afraid it's going to take a lot more of a fall kind of look. But everything is so warm here. I just kind of want it to be warm looking. Oh, it's so gross. It's so gross. It has almost like a skin tone to it. It's weird. Can you guys see that? I might have just messed this up. Oh well. It is okay. I was really tempted to go with like a purple for these. I think that might have looked a little bit better. But this is okay too. It's a coloring book. It'll look like whatever I want. I can also make it like where this is the warm side and the other side that we eventually get to will be like a cooler side of the color wheel, so to speak. Let's definitely lighten up this color though, if I can. After all, this is mostly an experiment to see how this book will handle all of this water, because this is more water than I would normally put on a page. We'll find out. I'm gonna have to go close that door because my dog barged in and just pushed it right open. Okay, hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, it's latched now. She can't come back in. I just noticed that that's literally the only spot those flowers are. Why did I do that? Whatever. Whatever. We can throw in some more orange in other places if we need to. Which we do, because this is a really pretty color. I will say, my husband got really mad today. He's really frustrated with the computer that we bought to do basically anything art related, video related, stuff that I need for YouTube. We bought a computer that's mostly like an art computer, okay? And it's very good for like digital art and things like that. I'm not huge into digital art, but it would do the job. So I will say that. But what became a problem is I don't know if it's the computer itself that's the issue. Or if it's just like we didn't do enough research. I'm trying to look for more areas to include this orange. Zoom you in here. But like, I'm trying to choose my words carefully. It's a good computer for some things, but it has trouble processing with other things. For example, it does not want me to use a capture card at all. And that's not a good thing because I really wanted to get into streaming. I know Misty from Country Girl Coloring, I think is her channel name. I'm sorry, Misty, I don't remember the name of your channel. I would know you if I saw you on Instagram, but I can't remember your name on YouTube. I'll link her down below. I saw her on YouTube, Instagram, that she started doing like little Let's Plays of her Animal Crossing game. And I think that's really cute because one, Animal Crossing is a cute game if you're interested in it. And two, it's just really nice and relaxing. It's kind of like having a coloring chat on in the background, but it's just like someone playing their game and someone talking. Some people do tutorial type things and, you know, will go all out kind of explaining why they do certain things. Other people are just way more chill about it. And poor Misty, she's just stressed out that her video isn't good enough, and I thought it was fine. I thought it was cute. So if you're watching, I thought your video was very cute. Please keep doing them because it kept me company while I worked this job that I hate so much. And so it's just kind of fun little thing to do on the side, and I really want to play some video games lately. I'm just in the mood to do that. We're just gonna do more yellow, I think. No more yellow. We'll do some red. I'm just in the mood to kind of play a game, and I really want to kind of include you guys in that because one, I think it would be funny because of what I would be playing. What I would be playing is Subnautica, and for those of y'all that don't know what that is a game that where you are a space person that crashes on a planet made of water. And you guys know, or you should know, how I feel about water right about now. So I thought that would be, I have started playing it before. I'm not going to say I never touched it in my life, but it's been a really long time. And I really want to start it again. But I wanted to do that with you guys. And I have a capture card. It's on a PlayStation 4, so I would need like a capture card to do it. But my computer, it just like, when I try to do anything with it, it just spazzes out. It's like it's too much for the system. There's something that's just like not right with it, or it doesn't like it. So my husband was looking at it and he was getting all kinds of frustrated. And I felt really bad, but like, I guess it's just not built for that. It's not meant for that. And so it's just not happy. But that means he's not happy, so it's like, oh God. I'll just hold off sharing that with you guys for a little bit. Or maybe I'll be able to figure it out. I don't know. I really kind of wanted to show you though, because I remember from when I played the last time, that game scared me so bad. I would have to like talk myself into like going to do things. I was like, oh my God, it's so dark. I know there's bad things in here. I know there's bad things in here, but I have to go do it. That's part of the game quest. And I would like try and psych myself up and then scream like a little girl. It was pretty entertaining. I think you guys would get a kick out of it. And it would probably be something fun to have on in the background, kind of like just a coloring chat. Maybe I could stream it if anybody would be interested. But like I said, I can't do that right now because my computer doesn't want me doing anything. I think I'm gonna make, I need more red. I'll make these red. I have some really pretty warm colors in this set. They mix really well too. They're very easy to mix. So if anybody actually is looking for a gouache set for like a beginner, this would be a pretty good set. And I'm really impressed with how well the book is handling it, actually. I didn't know that it would do this well. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. So this is pretty fun just kind of hanging out, though. If you guys do any gaming or Let's Plays, definitely let me know down in the comments. I'm always looking for new people to watch, but I do know with Resident Evil Village coming out, I know there's a lot of people that are going to be doing that. So if you're one of those channels, or if you have a channel and you're going to be doing one, let me know and I'll watch you. I'll check you out. I might actually do some fan art if I have time. Like, I've got so many projects. If I have time, I might do some fan art for Village. Assuming it's even good, because I'm kind of nervous with what they're doing with Chris and Ethan. Like, it just kind of rubs me the wrong way that they got Chris in the role he's in. So I'm hoping it's not going to be a... Pants. Hoping it's not going to be so far out of character that it, like, irritates me and upsets me. I gotta go let the cat out. It's always something. It's always somebody. Shoo. Go eat. Okay. That was the last animal that's in the room. I think it's interesting how close the red and the orange will look next to each other if it's not like, or if it is diluted down. Oh, I about lost my stuff here. I don't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, if you do any kind of Let's Plays, even if it's just like nice chill stuff especially, I love watching people play Stardew Valley. If you play Stardew Valley, actually I really want to play Stardew Valley, and that was another one I wanted to stream. So if you guys do Stardew Valley, if you do like Animal Crossing, feel free to speak up. Like, I'm all for it. I will support my smaller channels or bigger channels, whoever. That was a lot of water. Oh no. I don't think I'm going to make this like a huge video. I mostly just wanted to kind of chat with you guys. You know, catch up a little. That's really thick. That's gonna warp some paper. That's okay. That's what we're doing it for. I'll probably do what I did last time and just do some more off camera, and then kind of come back and hang out with you guys for like the last few minutes. I'm really, I don't know, maybe I'll come back and let you know my thoughts tomorrow after I have gessoed the other page, so we can kind of talk about that a little bit while I finish up or show you what I did do or whatever. Because I'm really curious, will gesso cause it to buckle or will it just kind of sit on top? I don't know, so we're gonna try. See, this right here is basically acrylic. Good lord. That's some red paint. It's a beautiful color though. Alright, let's even this out a little. I'm pretty much just throwing in red wherever I think would go good. It does, I mean, not necessarily even go good, just like something needs to go there, so it's gonna be red. I think I'll make some of these orange. These random little things can be red. Ooh, we'll make these down here red. Can you see? No, because it's way over here. I need to get my Johanna Basford book, and do some painting in that. That would be fun. Let's do red in here. Ooh, I could do like an orange or a red on the tips of these. I'm starting to get a really bad headache. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's like a migraine or... Ugh. Maybe it's just trying to focus on all these fine details for this long. So, I really want you guys to let me know what you think of these kinds of videos. I'm hoping and praying that if I do these in teal that it won't look bad, but I'm not sure, and I'm kind of nervous and scared to do it. I guess technically I could paint over them, but not really. That kind of scares me. But yeah, definitely let me know as far as the video goes. Do you guys like this type of video? Do you like me droning on? And are you prepared to see, oh, that's watery, to see the cuteness that is coming in May? Because it's going to be so adorable. One of the prompts, I will give you a little spoiler, is mermaid eyes. So like turning a friend into a mermaid, which Duncan has his little best friend who is human. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure how that'll happen yet, but it'll be awesome. So yeah, there's going to be a cuteness overload come May. I highly recommend you guys, and I don't like to be this type of person that says this, but I'm going to say it anyway. If you are not subscribed to the channel, I recommend you do that and hit the bell notification, because there's going to be so much cuteness, it's going to be ridiculous. So I'm not trying to be, you know, in your face about it, but you're not going to want to miss that. That's going to be cute. And I'm also very curious, for those of you that do like mermaid coloring books, do you prefer the cutesy kind of mermaids, like where it's just kind of like adorable situations and almost kind of like kid-like stuff, kind of like just having fun under the sea? Think Camilla d'Erico, things like that. Or do you prefer like the more adult kind of mermaids where like they look like adults and like, you know, they're more provocative because they're older and all that stuff? I'm really curious if I'm the only one that kind of prefers having like adorable mermaids. I don't know why. I don't know why that's a thing with me. I just prefer adorable mermaids. So I'm really curious what you guys think too. Because if I were to do like coloring pages to share, I would want them to be stuff that you guys liked. And I'm also kind of thinking maybe I should do like a share some pages with you guys for Mermay, just kind of like you could do Mermay with me. But we'll see. We'll see honestly how like freaking overwhelmed I get with just life in general. Hopefully it'll be okay. Now see, this is so smooth. You guys just missed that. This is like such a smooth transition right here. I love it. All this right here, so nice. Oh, I was gonna do down here. See, I'm like ADD. I'm gonna do a little bit more of the orange down in here, and then I will let you guys go and come back. We'll take a look at the gesso side and maybe lay down a little bit of paint over there. It won't be too long. It'll mostly just be to kind of like experiment and see how it works. And see, this isn't bad for a mixed color. I'm actually pretty proud of myself, and this is gonna be really sad to say, but like I have trouble like mixing colors and deciding what colors will go well together. I have trouble visualizing it, and like warm and cool colors confuse me. I don't know why. I shouldn't say that out loud because, you know, as a artist or illustrator or whatever the hell I am, I should know that stuff. But it gets kind of confusing. Like you have so many different shades of like red and yellow make orange, right? But then there's like warm reds and cool tones and all that stuff, and that's where I get confused. And it's like, if I mix these two colors together, what am I gonna get, mud, or am I gonna get a beautiful color? And luckily this time I got a really nice color. So I actually, the more I do with this, the more I like it. So I'm glad I went this route and didn't do like a bunch of purples and stuff, because I was going to do purple, because you guys know me, I was going to do purple. But this I think looks really nice. And I think it's because it's so far out of my comfort zone usually. You guys know I usually do like purples, blues, and pinks, so doing a bunch of red and orange, not my thing. The more I like it, the more I see it, the more I actually like it, so it's kind of cool. I might actually do more, the snake's gonna be yellow though, so I'm not gonna do more yellow there. He's so cute. That's like a little slug. I think after I finish this, I'm going to sit down and do a little bit of video game play because it's been a really long time since I've done video games. I think I'm finally gonna let myself have some time to do it and just chill out, relax, you know what I mean? And it's probably, I don't know, like, should I save Subnautica for you guys and do Outer Worlds on my own? Like, I feel like I need to do that because if I do start streaming, I want you guys to see me scream like a little girl and actually mean it, not be like, you know, acting or something. Because let me tell you, I remember some of those animals that are in that game and there will be screaming involved when they pop up. So I feel like I should save that for you guys. Because I am determined that at some point I'm going to fix this computer and it will happen. Maybe I should keep the leaves here pretty green too. Like, not so much darken them up, you know? Maybe they should be summery, whatever. I can't talk. But y'all know that. Like, my job all week is to talk, and I just, end of the week comes and I can't anymore. My brain just shuts down. Okay. I really love how this is coming out though. This is so relaxing. If you guys haven't tried it, I highly recommend you get yourself a paintbrush. Doesn't have to be an expensive one, just a paintbrush. And just try it. Just paint. And if you don't feel better, well, try some more. I don't know. Try more. Try a different book. And it's just so sad because I wanted so badly to do that fox. I really wanted to do the fox, but I don't want to destroy the image on the other side. So if this gesso works, we might have another video next week from this book. Like, I feel kind of like I'm copping out just doing the page here. But at the same time, it's like, well, it is kind of an experiment. I am talking, you know, I'm doing my thing. But it's still coloring. And, you know, I don't know. If it bothers you guys, let me know and I won't do it again. But for anybody that maybe has the same question as me as far as the gesso goes, maybe this can answer our question. Maybe we won't like it with the extra tooth, but maybe it'll protect our pages and sturdy them up just enough that we can keep using it on both sides. I'm actually going to add a little bit more. Come on, paintbrush, you got this. My paint keeps trying to dry. I have so little mix that it's just like drying on the page. I'm gonna do over here and then we'll be done. We don't have to bother you guys anymore for a bit. I am gonna continue off camera though because, I don't know, I find it relaxing even though I don't have a ton more to say. Because like I said, I try to keep it pretty positive and not, you know, all down and glum and stuff. Ooh. Do down here. Can you guys see this? Yeah, I got plans for that. We'll finish this part right here. And then we'll let you go. I promise. And this is where having a really fine brush comes in handy, because there's no way I could do this with one of my bigger brushes. I would go nuts. Alright, I need to change this paint water. This water is nasty, and I would show you, but God knows I would drop it, and that would devastate me. Also, I learned that it's a very dumb idea to mix your gouache with expensive brushes, because good God. I had like globs of paint just like stuck on it and I couldn't get it off. I'm like, oh my God, just destroyed this brush. My husband's gonna kill me. He bought these for me and I just destroyed them. But luckily, that wasn't the case. I was able to salvage them. So, I might actually add a little bit more yellow throughout too. Because, you know, indecision. We're gonna add yellow here. That does not look yellow. Oh, this is like that really rich yellow, that's why. I think I grabbed the wrong color. But this is really pretty. This looks like it belongs here. Can you guys see? I feel like this is very fall inspired, which is actually kind of cool because it follows like the whole theme of like the change in time and change in life cycles. Alright, I promise that is all you have to watch for now. I'm going to go. I'm going to work more on this off camera. You will see it at the end of this video, so don't go anywhere. Like, just skip to the end if you don't want to hear me talk anymore. I'm going to gesso the page on the left, and I will take a look at it tomorrow to kind of compare, since as you can see, we're going to zoom out. It's the same image, basically. And we'll be able to see like the differences, maybe lay down like a little bit of you know, paint just to see if it's actually that strikingly different and how it affects the paper. So that was the whole point of this video, besides the fact that I just can't shut up and stop talking. But do not go anywhere. Just skip forward a little bit if you don't want to see me talk or see what else goes on with this page, and we'll find out, does clear gesso actually make a difference with our coloring books? Okay guys, so forgive my ugly backer paper here, it's just so I don't like disrupt the other pages of the book. I did gesso this page last night and I gave it time to dry. We'll go over that in a minute, but I did want to go ahead and color through the rope with you guys. Mostly because I started this because I was curious how it would handle gouache. And I was worried about the darker colors. And maybe it's just because I stopped yesterday and kind of lost my groove, but I feel like with the darker, more opaque colors, you definitely lose the lines on the coloring book way easier. I don't know if you could see here. Probably not. I gotta zoom you in. That would help. So if you look at here, you can definitely see the black lines are almost gone. You can't even really see it on camera. This is super watered down in these areas here. So I'm trying to kind of add more and more water to my brush to keep it nice and just transparent, so that even if I lose the lines, I would be able to go back over them later with like a pen or something. But that's kind of one of the reasons I started this video. The other was because of the gesso, which is kind of weird. You'll definitely see it when I zoom over to that page, because I'm going to do a little bit of painting on that. Not a ton, just kind of see what it looks like. It behaves kind of like it does when you apply water to any medium. Oh God, guys, I'm so tired. I had the worst headache, so I had trouble sleeping last night. It was a migraine. And it was one of those things where it didn't want to let you rest. Let's try that again. It is one of those things like where you apply water to any paper, it's gonna kind of react the same. But I was pretty pleased because I was worried at first when it went down white. And maybe it's because I used a roller, but that's just what I'm used to using when I apply gesso, because usually it's on canvas. So I used a roller to do it. So I think it may have been a little much. If I go a little lighter and just use like I guess it's gonna have to be a disposable brush. I don't know if a brush will be able to handle it or like wash out gesso. I was afraid of destroying one of my nice brushes, so I just used the roller that I use for my canvas. And I think it put a little bit too much on, and it kind of abused the paper a little bit. But it handled fairly well, all things considered. And it definitely added a tooth to it. So I see why people would use their gessoing for like colored pencils. I think that would be a huge advantage, especially for people that have to do like a lot of layers. I don't know if Prismacolor is one of those that requires a ton of layering work. I'm gonna I already put my hand in this. I've already got paint all over my hands. I was walking yesterday with my husband. We walked our dog because we always have to walk her in the evenings because we live in an apartment. And I looked down and I'm like, how did I get paint on my hands? Wait, I have it on my arms too. It's like, how did I get paint here? And he just started laughing at me. He's like, I have no idea how you did that. You're left-handed and you've got it all over your right arm, your right elbow. So I guess I must have just like put straight down on the paper or something. I'm surprised there's not smears all over this thing because like, good God. But you know, it's looking pretty good. I'm probably not going to go and do a background on this one. I'm probably also not going to put a ton of detail in like the sparkles in the back. I don't know. It was fun to do yesterday. I'm kind of losing interest, to be honest. But it's nice to do, and it's nice to kind of experiment on pages in a book that I'm not going to be worried about destroying. Though I think I have decided when it comes to the pages I'm really interested in, if there's another page on the back side that I like. There's several of those in this book. I really like painting, but I've kind of come to accept the fact that in this book I'm going to have to rely more on my pencils to do the work, which is fine. Like, I enjoy pencil work too. I don't know, it's kind of weird. When it comes to coloring books, I'm kind of straying away from, you know, alcohol markers, which is funny because I bought Copics and I have like 90 Ohuhu markers and all this stuff. But I'm just really into the colored pencils and the painting right now, which is fine. I'll probably go back to my alcohol markers, especially during Mermay. Oh my God, I was so excited to tell you guys. I was stressed out to the max this morning because I need a day off during the week. I work like 7:30 to 4, Monday through Friday, at a job I really, really dislike, okay? I'm just gonna put that out there. You guys know that's the case. And I do it so that I can afford art supplies and pay down student loans and do the responsible thing and save for retirement and all that good stuff. Oh, that is too thick. Nope. See, I gotta be careful with that opaqueness. But I have this job that I don't really care for. Monday through Friday. Like, every day I'm on time, I do my job, I clock out, and then I have other tasks that need to be done around the house, or it's just kind of like, it's hard for me to unwind. And a lot of the time I'm working on art-related stuff in my off time, and then it becomes an issue of, okay, now I have to do a YouTube video. Like, over the weekend, I like to try and do my YouTube videos. And it's a chill thing usually, but sometimes it gets a little stressful. Like, this week, it's kind of like, it's not coming out the greatest. You know, this is a big experiment. And then it's just kind of like, I feel so tired and drained that I'm not rested on Monday. So I really need to start making time for myself to have a day completely off. I would like that to be Sundays. And I would like those to be like video game days or whatever I feel like doing kind of days. But today I was stressing out because, you know, I have work tomorrow and I don't want to do work. I don't want to go to work, you know, all that good stuff. And I was like, wait, I have Mermay coming up and I don't have a book to put any of my Mermay drawings in. Like, what am I going to do? And I'm stressing out about that. But then I realized one of the orders I had put into Blick to order some art supplies was for a marker book, and this marker book had 50 pages in it, not 15. So that's perfect for Mermay because I really, really love doing my illustrations for Mermay in markers. Like, if I color them, it's going to be in marker. It's just how I enjoy doing them. So I got really excited when I saw that. It took some pressure off, and now I'm here talking to you guys. And I had kicks for the first time ever this morning. And Kix are like a kids cereal, by the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I've never had them, and when Anthony found that out, he decided he was going to buy some, and they are the most bland cereal I've ever had in my life. So I definitely wasn't missing anything when I was a kid and didn't have those. What do you guys think of them if you've ever had them? And like, what's your favorite cereal or breakfast item? All right. The bird looks pretty good. I was able to get some layers on him. And I actually went in really dark with these greens, like the dark greens. I layered them like I would almost an acrylic to see how the pages would handle. And this book actually does pretty good with it. Like, you look at the back page here, if the camera would focus. Camera. Can you see? Okay, so finally it focused. There's really not that many blemishes at all with the gouache. I was surprised because I really went in thick with some of the darker greens, but it didn't do it. Now, if the camera will cooperate, I'm gonna move over and move all my stuff because I'm left-handed and I have stuff everywhere. Okay, so this is the page that I did in gouache, and you can kind of maybe see up here like the paper started to pick up a little bit because I went over it so much with the roller, just trying to spread it out. So again, if you're gonna use gouache on your coloring book pages, this might not be the best way to do it. But I'm really curious, like, I don't know if it'll make that big of a difference. I could probably paint the back of this page and be okay. What do you guys think? Let's just see what it looks like. I want to see what it looks like. What color should I make the flower? I want to use a purple. Do I have a purple readily available? I might need to open one. I seriously do not have a really light purple. How is that possible? I have a peach red and not a purple. I have a lilac, but it's super dark. Maybe if we just add... We're just gonna put it in there. Yeah, it's open. I'm gonna mix this up, and we're just gonna do a little bit, like I said, not a ton. I just wanna see how it will behave. Get my water. The issue I have with these two is like, it's hard to mix the colors with this watercolor brush because the water doesn't want to come off it. I can't dilute the color to make a watercolor because it's just sticking to the brush. It's like, you guys, is this why there's palette knives? My stoop cat hears me and he's out there scratching at the window. Alright, we're just gonna try this and see how it works. What color is this? Oh, that'll work. That'll be fine. We're just gonna water it down. Okay, so I'm just gonna come up here, and since you guys can see that best, we're gonna start here. Ooh, this is a pretty color, actually. You just gotta water it down. So I will say, if anybody has been dabbling with gouache or is looking for gouache, these are a really nice brand to like kind of... Gouache can be pretty expensive depending on what you want, and for what they are, they're not bad. It's the Arteza brand. I think if I keep up with gouache, I'll probably do a different brand. So for painting, I don't know that I like this quite as much. It's fine. It's going down fine, but it's the graininess. Like, you can hear the difference, right? So the graininess, I mean, it probably will let me do more washes with it, to be fair. And it's just kind of like you got to go a little extra with the layers, and I'm wondering if that's going to affect it in the long run. So this is like a super watery wash right here, which is fine, like nothing wrong with that. I wonder if it'll let me do more watercolory techniques. It's not bad. I do like, like I said, I can definitely see why people use this for colored pencil work. I don't know that it's going to be necessary for gouache or painting on this though, because it already kind of worked the page. I'm going to zoom out. Oh no, do not go in that color. Jesus, that'll be a horrible mess. Talk about muddy colors. Okay, I'm going to back you out. So you could probably, I'm hoping if I can push you back, you can kind of see here, like it's starting to curl the page up. So it's not doing much about protecting the page that way, because it's going to react the way it would for any water being on the page. If I did a huge watercolor wash, the entire page would probably suffer, but I mean, it is pretty, you know, I don't know. I really think this might be an option. I guess what I'm curious about now is if I do both sides in gesso and I put like a heavy book on it and just let it sit, would I be able to paint both sides? That's a good question. So what have we learned today? We've learned today that the gesso makes your paper very sandy. It feels like, okay, when you guys do this, if you do this, if you've never touched a shark before, run your hands over it, and that's exactly what a shark's skin feels like. So I think there might be something to this. Is it completely necessary? Probably not. The only thing that I think I would really want this for is, like I said, if I could paint on the other side of this image. But to be fair, I think that I would just have to eventually buy another copy of this book and do it that way. Like paint this side, buy another copy, paint the other side or something, because they're just not really meant to have a bunch of paint on them, to be fair. So maybe I'm being like, I don't know. I mean, it does. What is that? No. I'm hoping that's the dog that's moving my stuff around. Otherwise, I have a problem. So, I don't know. I'm having kind of fun with this. I don't want to... I'm kind of trying to see how thick I can get it to go. Like, will that make a difference before we start seeing issues on the other side? Yeah, because you can see it's already starting to affect the other side, and that's okay. I mean, you know, I will guarantee if you use this for like color pencils, it will, and you need to do like a ton of layering, it will probably make a huge difference for you. I don't usually bother with things like this. I probably won't use it for my coloring books. I will probably just use it for like canvas work or something like that. But you know, people, different folks and all that good stuff. You do you. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. You could probably do more layering with this than you can on that one. What is that noise? Dog. Ozzy, is that you? I don't know what that is. I think I have a problem. Anyway, so this is kind of what we're going to be looking at with the gouache. I might finish this page. I might just leave it and move on to other pages. That said, I am going to give you a sneak peek of next week's video, what I'm hoping will be a process video. This is a very, very light outline of the work I've been doing for the past week, trying to get anatomy correct for Pooja, who is going to be the star, or one of the stars of Mermay, which starts next week, and May 1st is next Saturday, I think, right? So you're going to be seeing a lot of Mermay, a lot of sketching, a lot of coloring my own stuff. I will try and fit in some painting as well with you guys, but we'll see how that goes. I'm trying to keep my stress levels down, so please forgive me if it's not a lot of painting and coloring. It's, you know, I'm trying to just keep myself passionate about things that I like to do, including Mermay. So you're probably going to be seeing a lot of cute little mermaid pictures and color alongs with those. And as always, I'm just going to say, just take a deep breath, stay chill, stay inspired, and let's get through this, and I'll see you next week.